Rolling.
Hello and welcome to the Beefy Boys podcast, episode, I don't know.
17.
Joe's on it. Speaking of which, I'm joined here by my friends.
What up? I'm Joe. Oh.
And
Christian.
We need to come up
right.
with catchphrases, boys. We can talk about this.
We should come up with
Recording.
Hashtag catchphrases.
You're joined with Joe.
Feel free to comment.
Burr, 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 burr.
Feel free to comment what our what we should do for our catchphrases.
Yeah, feel free to donate us money so that we can buy a soundboard. So we can start
Hashtag
doing
buy your dog a t-shirt.
Buy your
Look
dog
at
a
the
t-shirt,
soundboard like a
yeah.
morning zoo crew.
So
like,
we can start doing some
that was a foghorn.
sound effects.
No, Michael Winslow. That's much better.
All right, with that slow roll, we will have some music, video games, and sports to talk
Gonna hit
about.
all
Oh,
three
we sure
today.
Will. We
We're
sure
gonna hit
will.
all three today.
We got a lot to talk about. Let's
Episode
get right into it.
Snowmageddon.
Let's
That
that's a
too,
good
yeah.
episode
Some local
name.
news here.
Ready?
Old news.
Boom. Cracking open our local beer of the week. We've got Elysian Dayglow. Joe, you said this one was one of your favorites.
This is my favorite Elysian. I think it's my favorite IPA and might be my favorite beer right now.
So ever since
pretty good shit.
Right?
Before we did the podcast, I always strayed far away from IPAs. I never enjoyed them. I hated
Same.
them, and I just never really felt.
I'm shaking my
like-
head. I should speak.
I
I'm
never
on
really
audio.
felt like I'd ever be one to, I don't know, enjoy it. But now it seems like ever since we've done the podcast, it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable having, one IPA, a different one each week. I think it's fun. And, I think the local aspect of it kind of makes me a little bit more into it. We've had 2 beers on here. We've had Elysian. We've
We had
had
Elysian on here a
Fremont.
lot.
We've had
Georgetown.
Georgetown. Yeah.
Rubens.
there.
We've had a couple of Rubens on here.
Rubens, yeah.
And Burt
And
Gilman
Burt
Brewery.
Gilman Brewery.
Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah,
We even
it's
had
fun.
an IPA from them. It was the
Did
Two
we?
Pines, I think. Yeah.
It's fun being
Oh, the
on,
Two Pines. That's right.
It's
that's
fun
right.
being on Twitter now too. So when you're on Twitter, I'm actually on there sending all these breweries tweets just because when I'm in the break room at work and I'm bored, I'm like, "Hey, we did this beer and this beer. It'd be cool to try a different one. What would you guys recommend?
I know,
What do
I-
you guys want us to talk about?" So it's they actually respond and they talk back, and we've had Hellbent follow us on Twitter now, which is awesome. And we're gonna get their coconut stout on here that I boasted
I see all the
about.
notifications from Twitter on my phone, but I don't see like your half of it, Christian. So I'm like, why the hell is Hellbent Brewery they're quote tweeting me right now? What is happening?
Yeah, they even slid into our DMs.
Did they?
Yeah, we got the Hellbent slither of DMs.
Shit.
It was awesome, and so it's been a fun, active past week on the Twitter, and even with the Snowpocalypse happening, it gave me a little bit more time to be on Twitter and shit. So I think Antonio Brown asked.
To be traded. Well,
For
we didn't
10
even talk about the beer. Do you like the beer? You didn't even try it.
I haven't tried it.
You opened it and then talked about beer.
Drink. Your face.
I don't think he likes it.
It's not my favorite. Not my favorite out of the ones.
It's
that
your
we've tried.
stereotype IPA. Well, yeah, because the other ones we tried are very mild and like fruity. This is just a straight
See, I'm more of the mild.
bitter.
I feel like this is like
Citrusy IPA.
a standardy beer.
Yeah,
Like this is a standard beery taste.
Mm-hmm.
Like not
they're potent though.
the I think of a beer and this is what I think of, but like
The way that I see it, this one would be better
This is the
if it
standard
wasn't
IPA,
in
I
a
feel
can.
like.
Like in a bottle? They
Like
used
in a
to sell in a bottle, but look at these cans. These cans are awesome.
No, the
We gotta
cans are
post a
cool.
picture
The
of it.
can's cool. The design's cool. But I feel like it would be
just pour it in a glass.
tastier if it was in a glass. I am so fucking sore, Vito. It hurts to walk to my
Get
kitchen.
off your sore ass.
Maybe I will. I'm a mega sore ass right now.
Oh my gosh.
Good thing Mark is not here, or else he'd make
An
An
inappropriate joke.
He would make a Mark joke.
Yeah.
Something about
Don't you?
custard.
And
we
shots.
got the dog.
The
running
dog looks like
rampant
he's
in
trying to
here.
hop up on the
Yep, on the table.
soundboard. Didn't quite do it. That's live dog commentary of the week. Oh, there
But
it
yeah,
goes.
man, Snowmageddon, Twitter, it's awesome.
Snowmageddon.
The whole, we got buried. We got fucking buried. But
For those of you not from here, when Christian says we got buried, we got 6 inches of snow. All right, it wasn't the end of the world. Well, it was for Seattle.
Well, the thing is that people say, well, everybody's like, oh, people in Seattle overreact when it snows. It's like, yeah, I get it. Everybody,
that's the thing. Yeah,
everybody overreacts, but we just have hills. This whole place is built on hills. To get to work, I have to go through a hill.
Built on hills and a lack of snowy infrastructure.
Yes.
Yeah, the problem is that we don't plow. We don't salt the streets either. I'm convinced the city of Seattle has one plow, and they have a map. They don't plow all the streets. They plow the...
I don't know about you guys.
All right, haha. The city, the city of Seattle, I was convinced they have one plow. They plow like the major streets. Like if you live down the side streets, you're just totally fucked.
You're fucked.
Yep.
And they don't salt them either. Like the street in front of my house was just a sheet of ice for a week.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And my asshole neighbor threw all this snow in front of my car and buried it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I had to go over there and ask him why he did that in a not so polite way. But yeah, dude.
Did the Met Mark? Did you guys miss work at all?
I did.
Nope.
I did.
Well, but the store didn't close.
Store closed early a few times.
Really?
You know it's a snowstorm when a 24-hour grocery
market
store
closes. Yeah,
closes down, and it's pretty hilarious. But yeah, so
because Ara didn't have to go to work for 4 days.
Well, good for her. I went to work every day.
And we had remote classes at the
we couldn't even
university,
record. I was bummed that we couldn't record.
I know, the first week we've ever missed.
I even worked with soggy feet because of the slush.
So this
Because it
beer
rained on the snow and it made slush. And
this beer has an interesting
pulled up in the
aftertaste
street.
to me.
That's why I like it. It's got that nice crisp and almost like citrusy, almost tropical fruit finish to it.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's tropical fruit aftertaste, but
it's the citra hops.
it's sitting a little weird. I don't know if it's because I'm hungover or
That could be it.
That's
that's probably it.
Or you like said
feel
you're
like it's
sore as
hella
all
smooth.
get out. Yeah, that's why I like it.
What's that?
But I
feel
said,
like it's
like I
hella
said, be
smooth.
careful because it's an IPA. It's strong. It's a potent one. It's a potent one. I'll post a picture of this can. It's got a tiger with a laser shooting out of its eyes.
I took a picture of the
percentage
box.
on this bitch.
Oh, yeah, what do we got on the percentage?
Yeah. We don't all need it. 7.4.
Damn. God
Told you.
damn.
Told you.
For this little can here?
Yeah. Well, that's a percentage. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how big the can is. The percentage isn't going to change.
Yeah, 2 or
That's
3.
science facts with Joe.
two or three of these probably get me good.
Oh, man.
Contains wheat.
All right. Well, so what do we want to talk about first?
Wheat Erickson.
Let's get the
Bill
fucking elephant in the room of a piece of shit Super Bowl.
The Snoozer Bowl.
God damn.
Did you watch it at all, Vito?
I don't watch sports.
Okay. Did you watch the commercials at all?
Nope.
Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Yeah, but I still haven't caught up.
Did you see the Game of Thrones Bud Light crossover commercial?
No, but that sounds funny.
Okay, I'll explain it. You know these dilly Bud Light commercials that they have everywhere, where it's supposed to be like a medieval king who loves Bud Light? Anyways, this guy was hosting a tournament, and he was fighting a guy that definitely looks like a Game of Thrones character, and then the guy kills him, like, spoilers for Game of Thrones, like Oberyn Martell dies by crushing his head, like, through the eye sockets.
That was awesome.
And then a dragon shows up, and it's a Game of Thrones ad inside a Bud Light commercial.
And then I crushed her head like this. God, when his fucking head exploded,
Oh my God.
that was that show is awesome.
You know what I miss? The World of Warcraft Super Bowl ad with Mr. T.
That's a throwback, man.
That is a throwback, and the fact that he remembers a Super Bowl ad.
He probably
from
watched
that
it
long ago.
afterward.
It's because it was wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was
See?
also everywhere too. Like after
Yeah,
the Super Bowl, it was everywhere.
That makes sense.
So
I'm Mr. T.
so
This
Julian
is my night of
Edelman.
Mohawk.
Julian Edelman got
He
Super
crushed
Bowl,
it in the first half. At
Super
least.
Bowl
I mean,
MVP. He had 10 catches for 141 yards. The guy is a great player, but I believe that the MVP of the game should have gone to Sony Michel,
because he scored the only touchdown.
scoring the only touchdown, and he was a beast. He had a beast
Yeah.
game.
Oh yeah, I heard that Tom Brady won the Super Bowl.
He did.
He did.
Yep.
It's just he's got 6.
I heard
Appreciate
that- I heard
greatness
that
in
he
your
was,
time.
Was birthed, bred, and trained as a Super Bowl winner.
That's
I don't know if that's true.
I mean,
I did finally see the Shaggy memes you guys were talking about. There.
he is a Shaggy meme. If Tom Brady were to use all of his powers, there wouldn't be a Super Bowl.
He'd win though. He'd win the Super Bowl by himself.
Every
I don't
year.
know.
Yep, by himself.
People
the
are
thing
saying,
about
like,
the Patriots is they're so fucking balanced. It's annoying how balanced they are.
Yeah.
Their offense is neither amazing and it's not not bad. It's balanced, and then their defense. It's neither incredible, but it's not bad. But then all of a sudden, you come to the playoffs and their fucking pass rush develops overnight.
I know.
Overnight.
Crazy.
It's insane. The playoff Patriots are a whole different story.
It's like watching a LeBron regular season game versus LeBron in the finals.
In the finals.
'Cause he just doesn't
Exactly.
care. He's like, I'm going to get to the playoffs anyway. and then he turns it on.
It's just, it's wild. Seeing the way that those guys play.
It was weird. And like, it was the lowest scoring game in the history of the Super Bowl, which
sucked.
whatever. I can appreciate a
fucking
defensive
sucked.
battle, but that wasn't even a defensive battle. It was just boring.
Boring.
The play calling was uninspired. Like, Sean McVay's a genius, but I think he became stupid for that day somehow. I don't know what you're doing, man.
He's a genius until it comes to playing against a seasoned coach.
Yeah.
I told everybody
It's cool.
that
yeah,
Belichick was going to outcoach that game. And he did.
Because people don't, I told you, people don't want to appreciate greatness in their time. Like, Belichick is the best coach who's ever lived. The
Yeah.
game's more complicated, and you have to be smarter about it than you ever had. And he's just smarter than everybody. All right?
He is.
That's why
He is.
keep winning. I mean,
He's insane. He's incredibly smart. And the way that he's able to, the way that he makes, it just feels like he makes the Patriots the most disciplined team when it comes to the playoffs.
they adapt their team.
They are the team that is, we've been here before, let's act like it. And when they do that, guess what? They win fucking Super Bowls all the time and everybody hates them. And I get it. I hate the Patriots, but being a Seahawks fan, I hate the Rams more than I hate the Patriots.
Yeah,
Fuck
that
the
must have been
Rams.
that must have been like what year was it? 09 when it was Yankees Phillies in the World Series. And I'm like, can they both lose? Like,
I obviously
It's just an
wasn't-
0-0 fumble fest.
I obviously
it was like quadruple overtime.
I wasn't so into the fact that it was Rams versus Patriots. I believe that either or of the AFC teams that went to the Super Bowl would have put on a good show. Like, so either if it was the Chiefs or the Patriots, it would have been a good matchup if it was anybody but the Rams. I just don't see, I don't know. I didn't see the hype train behind the Rams. They're a good team, but they were not a Super Bowl winning team, and it's obvious.
Well, they should have put their horns on.
They should have, because they fucking choked. They choked hard. And it sucks for somebody like Jared Goff to go from, like, being called a bust, like being called a bust, but then getting his team to the Super Bowl, but then not being able to perform in the biggest game, the biggest stage. He had stage fright. He wasn't able to perform. And he had good protection. His O-line is great. Todd Gurley, now this is something that I need to know. Was Todd Gurley hurt?
They're saying he wasn't.
Somewhere
I think somebody's
along-
hiding something because that man was definitely fucking injured.
There's something wrong with him because he was non-existent in the playoffs. If it weren't for C.J. Anderson turning it on in the playoffs, there wouldn't have been. They wouldn't have had a balanced attack, and then they would have been easier to shut down because it proves when you only have Goff as your weapon, and there's no Cooper Kupp. There's they have Robert Woods, they have
missed him.
Brendan Cooks, but
Josh
Brendan
Reynolds
Cooks
is no Cooper
Brendan
Kupp.
Cooks also can't perform on in the biggest stage.
Well, he runs one route. I mean,
And we saw his highlights last year of him getting blown up by Philly. And then now this year he dropped two potential Super Bowl winning plays. Two of them. With a shitty Super Bowl like that, the two drop passes that he had in the end zone are crucial. They're extremely crucial. Either one of those could have been a winner, and he couldn't do it. Also thinking about how McCourty was 23 yards away from Brendan Cooks on the play where he was alone in the end zone.
I know.
But McCourty came through and knocked that was play of the game for me. But the way that he was able to get there that fast, it was incredible. seeing McCourty go all the way up there like that. But I think, I don't know, man. I think the Patriots showed an extreme amount of class on their way to the Super Bowl, and they showed class on their way out.
Yeah.
I respect that. The Rams, like I said before, the reason why I hate them so much is because they have a bunch of shitheads on their defense. Their defense is built, they're the villains. Their defense is the villains. Akib
That's
Talib,
true.
Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters is a shithead. He can't even play.
And Domikasu.
Look, I'm not in the NFL, right? So everybody who hears this is going to be like, well, what are you doing? Obviously, I don't get paid as much as he does to play football. But at the same time, if your job is to cover a receiver and you leave him wide open all game, you're not doing your job.
What if you did get paid $20 million a year at the metropolitan market?
I would retire.
I'd work 1 year.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'd retire.
Yeah.
Because I
Can we talk about that halftime show for a second? Did you guys see?
Holy shit, what a disaster.
I never saw it, but I
Fucking
heard that they
disaster.
played SpongeBob as
They
part
didn't
of it.
play SpongeBob.
They did like a video package of SpongeBob. It was weird.
They put him
really-
on there. They put him on there for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, the Astro, or not the Astrodome, but like the bubble, the bubble dome that they did their little Sweet Victory song in. They made it seem like they were gonna play the song,
But then they did.
but then they transitioned it into sicko
Weird.
mode, and everybody was like, okay, this is fucking dumb.
Did you recognize those two hip hop artists? I had no idea who
Big
those guys
Boy,
were.
Big Boy was one of them.
They didn't label them on the broadcast.
Oh,
I
Big
needed-
Boy
I
was the
needed
guy
help.
that Big Boy was the guy that came in on the Cadillac.
Did he have the fur coat?
Yep, he's from Outkast.
Okay, who was the other guy?
Travis Scott. Yeah,
Okay.
Travis Scott.
He
was the guy
do
that
those
did-
names mean anything to
He
you?
was the guy that did.
Yeah.
He was the guy that did
Thank you.
sicko mode. Travis Scott is one of those
I can't
guys
even
that you would
remember the
consider.
guy. I can't even remember the name of the guy who did the first thing. Who's the main guy on it?
Big Boy. Oh, what? Maroon 5?
Yeah.
Adam Levine?
Yeah.
They
that
fucking
guy.
suck.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
suck.
Yeah. I want to call you out because when we talk about Adam Lambert touring with Queen, and you're like, no, he's not the guy from Maroon 5. The guy from Maroon 5 is named Adam Levine, which
Yeah.
is really fucking close to Adam Lambert. Okay.
It is close. But,
But
if
he was like-
Adam Levine were to be traveling with Queen, I wouldn't go see him because I fucking despise Adam Levine and I hate Maroon 5. They suck.
As the show went on, he had less and less clothes on his chest till by the end he was shirtless, and he had this ridiculous California tattoo across his belly,
Yeah,
which then spawned the internet
I
meme.
saw the memes.
Yeah, of like Arkansas, and it's like
Yeah.
a fat guy with a shotgun.
Yeah, I saw also that apparently he had like a garbage guitar solo.
His sound,
His sound was garbage.
the sound
apparently.
was trash.
I know.
It was everything about that Super Bowl halftime show was whack.
The whole thing was boring.
It was terrible.
I'm just saying, when Katy Perry played the Super Bowl, she rode in on an animatronic giant lion. All right.
And then a fucking Lady Gaga like jumped off the roof
Yeah, I know.
and flew down in, and you know she put on a good show, and they didn't sound terrible. If they sound bad, that's one of the biggest reasons that's like, well, this sucks. You can't, you know, when you go see a live band and they sound shitty live, you're disappointed. So if you're watching the biggest game on, you know, the biggest football game of the year, and they bring out some shitty pop band like Maroon 5, and they solely depend on this guy's looks, and that's it.
I know.
And their music is horrible. I can't name one
You gotta
song.
give them some credit. I
was
mean,
about
they
to
have
say,
been
I don't know
making
one song of theirs.
shitty, mediocre music for almost 20 years.
But I mean, there's plenty of bands that have been making shitty, mediocre music for a long
They
time.
didn't play Moves Like Jagger, which is my favorite Maroon 5 song.
Gross.
That was them.
I thought that was a single.
I hated
like a
that song.
solo
It didn't make
artist.
any sense.
I got the moves like Jagger.
Yeah, but how? Even like why?
I don't know.
Why?
Look, if you're a band,
They did like the
if you're a band and
Shrek
you're
theme song, I want to say.
if you're a band
Smash
like
Mouth.
Oh,
Maroon
yeah.
5,
No, that was Shrek 2. Electric Boogaloo or whatever.
I don't get it. I don't understand the whole we're a band aspect when it's not even a band.
What do you mean?
When you listen to their music outside of it being live, it doesn't sound like there's any fucking instruments.
Oh.
It sounds like it's all created on the computer.
I don't know.
Like it
I
might as well.
haven't listened to
That's why I
Maroon 5
thought
in
it
a
was
long
just.
time.
That's why I thought he ditched Maroon 5 and just did his own
No.
single shit, because it doesn't sound like there's a band.
Nope.
And
All right. Well, do you want to transition to a musical performance you did enjoy?
yes, and I also have another choice words for another band I despise,
Okay.
and that's if you're a band like Imagine Dragons, you fucking suck.
I'm gonna say I like one of their songs.
Their
Again,
music
they're in that
is
like Modest Mouse, Neutral Milk Hotel. All that
Yeah.
music is exactly the fucking same. to me.
horrible. Their music is terrible.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm not gonna say their music's good. I'm just gonna say I like it.
It's stadium rock, but if anybody were to actually listen to that, I just don't know how you do it. If you do it and you like them, tell me. Explain to me how you can like.
There's one song I don't remember what it was called.
Because stadium rock for me, and this is going to transition into like the concert that I saw. Stadium rock for me is like old hair metal bands. So like Motley Crue is now would technically be like a stadium rock band because they could play it at the sport events. You know, I think any band that can be played at a sport event and it sounds badass, that's awesome.
Stadium Rock.
Yep, stadium rock.
Believer is super fucking catchy. I don't care who
You
are.
had to look it up.
Yeah. But,
You had to
well,
look it
I fucking Goldfish Brain. You already know that.
Goldfish. Brain.
But, yeah, that song is really super catchy. And it's one of those songs. Then again, I also, like, mainly listen to music while I'm walking. And so anything that's, like, super upbeat and sort of is one of those songs that just gives you energy.
They'd make me throw up if I listened to them when I work out. I just can't do it. I forgot my headphones once. This is the reason why I remember this.
Yeah.
Because I forgot my headphones once when I went to the gym alone, and they played like 3 or 4 Imagine Dragons songs in the 1 hour I was at the gym, and it
jeez.
drove me insane.
That would.
Yeah. Like I said, one song.
Yeah. But, you know, ooh,
They're one of those one song bands.
that was a crack voice right there.
Burpathon. That one's just for you, Renee. I know you love the burps.
Yeah, pardon me. Excuse me. So, sorry, I got like day glows stuck in the back of my throat.
It's a gassy boy right now.
I also have no voice right, or I like my throat's a little sore and hurt because
Anywho, you went to a live performance.
I did. I sure did. I went to go see Kiss.
Knights in Satan's service.
Oh my god, dude, Kiss, incredible. No opener, which is what I liked
Really?
about it. Yep,
Wow.
no opener. They were late,
Of course. That's why you have an opening act.
and it took them about 2 songs to get everything rounded out, like to get their sound just right. But after those first 2 songs, they really sounded great.
Where
For
was
their
this show
age,
at?
it was at the Tacoma Dome.
Okay.
And the last few shows that I've been at the Tacoma Dome, they haven't had good sound. So I was kind of surprised that like a band like that would sound as good as they did. And dude, they fucking crushed it, man. I mean, I haven't had that much fun at a concert in I don't know how long. And it's funny because so we found an immediate parking spot right by the freeway because it had a sign that said free shuttle to the stadium. So we were like, what? And so free shuttle to the stadium, it's like, cool, let's park and let's drink some beer in the car, and then we'll go to the show. So, of course, we drink a little bit more than a couple of beers, and we're all stumbling. I'm with Claude, famous Claude, and then our
Romanian shout out of the week.
Romanian shout out of the week, and then our frequent listener, Ramon. And we were a little drunk, got in the shuttle, packed like 20 people into like a Sprinter van. No seatbelts, no nothing.
Jesus Christ.
Drove
oh, wait,
us-
this was a like free shuttle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Drove us like fucking 2 blocks and dumped us off at the bottom of this hill. And it was like a half a mile away from the stadium, but it's a half a mile uphill when you're drunk in the cold.
How, was
And
it
it's like,
still snowy? Or had
it
this-
wasn't snowy, but it was
Okay.
cold. And it was like, oh shit. Like, this is our shuttle, 2 blocks. and then he's like, oh yeah, and by the way, you guys are gonna have to walk back after the show. So we were like, oh my god. We should have just spent the extra $10-15 and parked at the stadium. But no, man, going back to it, they opened up with Detroit Rock City. And they came down. Detroit Rock City!
Thank you, Vito.
Of course, they came down in Kiss fashion. You're bringing them down from high elevation. You got fireworks and fucking sparks flying
Pyrotechnics,
everywhere.
yeah.
Dude, their pyrotechnics is nuts. And as the show went on, they just had so much going on. Then they brought out like big balloons for some songs that like these balloons came out of nowhere, and apparently people were fighting with them, or people were fighting for them.
Okay.
So
Punched a balloon.
so they were playing. So in the middle of the set, I decided to go take a piss and grab 2 beers. So I'm waiting in line, and I see this guy, kind of looks like my dad. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy looks kind of like my dad. Sure enough, buys his beer, turns around, and it was my fucking dad.
That's
I
funny.
ran into my dad, didn't even know he was going to the show. And it just cracked me up because, he had been sick all week and was telling me how sick he was. And then all of a sudden, he's there at the show. I'm like, what are you doing here? Well, what are you doing here?
What are
But
you doing?
I'll tell you,
here?
man, it was an absolute blast. And I'm glad I was able to go and see them and enjoy the show. And we've got a dog on the table now. Buy your dog a shirt, and they won't be able to jump up on the table.
Hashtag buy your dog a shirt.
Dex, the fuck off the table.
For those, I know you all can't see, Christian told the dog to get off the table, and he just sat down on the table.
Anyway, moving on. The show kicked ass. I'm sad that music like that is a dying breed. Dying breed.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned...
Shout out to Steel Panther.
That's it. I was going to say, somebody mentioned a band that still does, glam metal, and that's Steel Panther. But I said the problem with Steel Panther is the way I described them was their spot in the music, in that style of music, is when you get shot in like a battle royale game and you're downed and you're kind of like bleeding out and you're crawling, but there's no teammates there to revive you. So they're on a crawl, but there's nobody there to pick them up.
I think they're going pretty strong, but it would be nice to see more.
More, dude.
Do you want to transition there, or
I'd be so down for there to be more glam
you
metal
guys
bands.
familiar?
Speaking of battle royale games,
Wait,
Jesus
are you guys
fuck.
familiar with Greta Van Fleet? Is that what it's called?
Greta Van.
I've heard it. I think
Greta
I
Van
don't know
Fleet.
what it is.
The lead singer looks exactly like the guy from Led Zeppelin, and they sound exactly like Led Zeppelin.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
but they're like modern. Anyways, yes,
This guy looks and sounds like Robert Plant.
yeah, it's
That's
creepy.
kind of impressive.
Anyways, yes. Speaking
Kiss
of,
even played Beth.
Apex Legends
okay,
looks like it would be a really good game, but I can't install Origin, and I can't play with a controller and shoot things.
So you're not good on the consoles.
Yeah,
That's
no.
why you're not playing it at the moment.
Yeah. And then also on PC, like I can't get it like Origin.
It doesn't work,
I can't
yeah.
get Origin to function.
have you tried it on
Apex.
consoles? Like,
Oh yeah. I did the tutorial, and then like I joined a few games, and then like I couldn't pick my character because the systems were too clunky, and like I was like highlighting characters, and then the game started, and then like I was the healer for some reason. I'm like, what the fuck's even happening with this
oh,
game?
it's not that complicated.
It was super
There's
complicated.
an order to picking characters, like, and you can't pick someone else took.
No,
That's
but
it.
the game starts before I even pick a character, and then all of a
Do
sudden
you have like 10 seconds
Yeah,
to make
I
up
think
your
it
mind?
gives you
yeah.
about 10 seconds. To
And I'm
pick.
like, oh, what's this character? Oh, what's this character?
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
do that.
You don't have time
you
to
don't
do
have
that.
time to figure out who or
It's so-
what they do, which is kind of
dumb.
If you go into like the
Yeah.
I like
you can get
Armory or
back
whatever.
the League of
stories.
Legends system where there's like a minute, but you lock in, and when everybody's locked in, it's 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It switches to 10 seconds.
My problem with the game is I feel like as you guys know, I'm not good at battle royale games to begin with.
Yep.
So it's like if
Same.
I really, really want to get good and play, I have to be consistently playing the same battle royale game.
Yeah.
Problem is if I bounce from game to game and go to different ones, I can't adapt. It's
Yeah.
hard for me to adapt like right away. I've got a friend online who streams and he bounced from Black Ops to Apex and is already in like the hundreds with wins. He's already
Damn.
at almost 1,000 kills or some
He's
shit.
like a pro. He's a streamer.
He's a streamer, and he's
so, like,
awesome, and
gets
he's
paid
great.
to do it.
He's great.
Yeah.
And the reason why I caught my first win in Blackout during the snow days is God damn
The dog's squeaking a toy. You're not getting pulled over.
dogs. And the reason why I won like one of our first games is because I was playing on the same team with these guys. And his name is Grand Kangor.
So you
guys can check
could
him
say
out.
you got carried to your first win.
I got carried through my first win, but the good thing is they actually, the people I play with they're more of like a kind of show you, they put you in the shit. It's like when I was trying to play, my strategy is jump to the outside, far away from where everybody drops. And then when I started playing
the way
with
to do
them,
it.
we're literally dropping in the middle of the
Ooh,
map.
don't do that.
And it's
If you want to
like-
get in like fist fights, you drop on like the loot barge or whatever.
And so we drop in the same spot usually every time. And it works out. And
So I've played it like 5 or 6 times, and I won my very first game ever. And then the most recent game I played, I came in second. So I'd call myself an expert. I find I enjoy it. I like that all the characters have their own special powers. It's like Overwatch mixed with squads, and like I like that they force you into a squad.
Yep.
I don't like that like people don't realize you can be revived even if you're completely down. So people will just quit and not wait
Yeah.
for me to retrieve
Yeah,
your portrait, which is really annoying.
you can be revived at those revive bar things, and that's pretty cool.
Yes, you can be like, so you can be revived while you're down, but then if you're like all the way into a coffin, yes, you can be picked up and taken to the beacon or whatever and revived.
Yep.
Problem is when you drop back, you come back with nothing.
Yes,
Which
but
obviously
then your
it's-
friends
it's-
give you stuff,
You expect it, but
and that's why you play as the medic, because her ultimate is
So
to give
question,
you cool
do,
shit.
do you guys know if you can get it on PC or if it's still just shitty on Origin?
I think it's
I
just
think it's
Origin.
just on Origin. Yeah,
And you can't get it outside of Origin, right?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
I'm fucked.
You could just play on PlayStation,
Play on
so we can play together.
PlayStation.
Because that's my biggest concern is like they
Alright.
force you into a squad
You
of
and
3.
I play together, right?
Yeah,
And you're gonna have to carry the fuck out of me until I learn how to play a controller.
I'm not very.
I think
good.
I have about 14 kills.
So you have like 3, but I'm good with the medic, and I've been playing
I
as
play
the
with the
shield
medic as
guy. I
well.
like the shield guy. He's fun.
I play as the medic. I like the medic. I feel like knocking people down is easy. Killing them is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like
You
when
gotta
they're
take
on
out
the
the whole
ground, it seems
squad,
like
that's
when they're on
why.
the ground, it seems like the health is like out of this world. Plus, they have their little like Super Smash Bros. Shield.
They can have their shield, yeah, their knockdown shield. Yeah.
Which is it's
Wait,
cool.
you can melee?
You can melee, yeah. You
Yeah.
just unequip your weapon.
It's cool, but coming from Blackout, it's hard to adapt.
But I feel like Blackout's gonna die fast because that's locked behind a $60 Call of Duty game. Like,
Yeah.
If they want it to succeed, they need to make it free to play. Otherwise, like Apex Legends is gonna eat their lunch, man.
Yeah.
Because the shooting feels good,
Yep.
you know. And it
I think
doesn't
the
have
mechanics.
silly.
I think the mechanics in Blackout are better than the ones in Apex.
Sure,
the
but
one thing that
Apex is free.
The one thing that Apex has over Call of Duty is it's free,
well, and
right? And that's the one thing.
I personally like the
Do they
character
have
powers.
abilities
Yeah,
in-
they don't have
in
the
Black
they don't
Ops?
have the unique ability powers.
Yeah, but
That's like my favorite thing about it.
the abilities are something that's
Overwatch
the part
mixed
for me
with
that's
a-
hard because
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that shit. Coming from Blackout, I'm
Yeah.
not good with abilities. I've tried it and they're weird to fucking use. The
just gotta get used to
D-pad,
them.
the D-pad controller is fucked for grenades and healing. You can't run while you heal, which is annoying. So if you're running from the
kidding me?
storm,
It's just different than Call
don't-
of Duty.
You can run while you heal. You just have to throw your drone out.
you can't run while
He's talking about syringes, not
talking
the
about
healing drone,
syringes.
I've never used those.
So you can't use your syringe while you run. You can't
Maybe I
recharge
shouldn't
your
play with you.
Can't recharge your shield as
Yes,
you
you
run.
can. Oh, while you run.
While you run, you can't do anything while you run.
It's not Call of Duty, man.
But that's what I like. I like it just feels clunky to me. It feels clunky and it feels sloppy. Like everybody says that the game is like so clear and like.
Well, the shooting is definitely better than
functioning.
Fortnite.
It's. Wait, did you say the shooting is better than Fortnite?
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
way better.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
Shooting
the biggest
mechanics are-
competition.
Like I think that game is
That's
way
where they
better.
hit
It's
5
way
million
better than
players
Fortnite.
in 2 days. That's absurd.
I like it that you're not building shit as well.
Yeah.
I think Fortnite has its you know the
that was
big
my
one-
main
I
thing
can't
is
remember
that
who
I
said this,
liked-
but someone was like, "I don't like playing Fortnite because it's like I'm fighting someone, and as soon as I shoot them, they turn into a 5-story building."
Yeah, I mean I get it. That's what made the game like That's what makes
It's
it Fortnite.
surprising they never came out with
Building.
like a no building, like a just battle royale mode for Fortnite. Like, it's,
Yeah.
it's
So
just
that was my like
I
favorite
agree.
thing going into Apex was the fact that instead of building, they gave you just like Overwatch abilities.
Special
Yeah,
abilities.
yeah.
I think that's cool too. And the special abilities are fun if you get to know them and learn
Have you played
them.
Bloodhound?
And I played with Bloodhound.
I was sucked as Bloodhound's the one with the
sucked.
tracking abilities.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
I was terrible with him.
I was bad.
It's so good.
I played as him. I played as the Shield Lady Lifeline.
You see where your enemies are, and
or
then you
the-
shoot them, and you win.
But I'm bad at shooting. I'm much better with the healer lady or
Yeah.
the shield guy. I like the shield guy.
I wish. They
I'm
had-
good at shooting in that
The
game.
funny thing is, I wish they had some sort of mage class that I didn't have to shoot.
My strong point in that game is definitely shooting.
So the first one we won, one of our guys was downed and just quit immediately. But it was just me as the healer lady, and then the other guy was Wraith, who's the teleporter.
Oh,
who
yeah.
just wrecked shop. You can set a teleport beacon
Is that the one that
outside
has
of the ring.
Is that the one that has the decoy?
No, it's maybe.
No,
But
The hologram?
No,
not?
the hologram's the dude. The girl
hologram
has
fucking-
the portals.
she
hologram
she
pisses
basically
me
has a
off.
portal gun, so you can link between two
Oh,
spots. And I think she can
that's-
turn invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah, invisible portals.
Yeah. So like she would just like set a portal right outside the ring where there was like a big set of loot, and we would just jump back and forth between the portal, getting loot and not dying. Why are you growling at your toys, dog?
Yeah, he plays once a week. He plays once a week, and he's choosing it right now, which is hilarious.
Oh jeez. But speaking of battle royales, I played another battle royale. Did either of you hear about Tetris 99?
You know what?
I heard
heard
about,
about
it.
it.
but
I saw a
I don't know
meme.
anything
I
about
saw
it.
a
I saw a
meme.
meme. Yeah.
I saw a meme.
It's fun. I found out I'm awful at Tetris, it turns out. You know, I don't even know what the hell a T-spin is, but apparently you need to know how to do them if you're going to be any good at Tetris. But it's like really cool. You're playing Tetris, but it's like multiplayer Tetris where people are dropping stuff on you, and all the other 99 players are like surrounding you, so you can see how everyone is doing as you're playing. And then they send you all the same blocks in the same order. So there's no like random advantage. And the games last 3 minutes because it's
That's
fucking
pretty
Tetris.
The game, the Apex feels slow to me.
Because
It
you're
feels-
coming from the Call of Duty world, that's why.
That's
It's
my
playing
problem.
to me. It's playing a lot. Like the
You
rate
guys-
of play
you
is the
guys
same
like-
as it is on Fortnite.
You
to
guys
me.
like your slower paced games. I like the fast paced.
I feel like in
You
a
like Death Room.
in a battle royale, you're dropped in. What I like to do is like slowly wander around and get all my good loot. Like I'm not trying to fight anyone until the very end.
To
you know?
me, I'm the opposite.
You
I
want
think the
Death
more
Room.
loot, I feel like the more loot that I have, the least effective I am. I just like to get a gun that I'm good with, or get a gun in general, and just have
I
nothing
don't
except
like how
for
they
shield
start you without
and
a
heal.
gun.
But that's just like
I think they
Fortnite.
should start you with a basic ass gun.
just like Fortnite. I don't like that. Like
Yeah,
it's
but
hard
fuck
to
Fortnite.
tell which of the guns.
fuck Fortnite.
It's hard to tell what the guns do. Like, is this like a machine gun? Like, I can't tell the guns apart.
I can't tell
If
the
it's
guns
a-
apart, and
hey,
most of them are burst
That's
fire,
easy.
and I don't
That's
fucking
easy.
like
It's
that.
if it's a thick bitch, it's a shotgun. If it's a thin bitch, it shoots lots.
Well,
of
I've started to
bullets.
realize you have to pay attention to the ammo types because the ammo types tell you what kind of gun it is. But
I don't like the burst fire weapons in that game, and I feel like a majority of the machine guns are burst fire.
Dude, I tap to shoot because you can headshot. So what
Because the burst fires in Call of Duty are much easier to wrangle and handle than they are in Apex. Something about the way that I feel with Apex is they're throwing level 3 armor at you like it's no big deal. So it's like everybody has level 3 armor, and it's really fucking hard to deal with people who have level 3 helmets and level 3 and armor.
Yeah.
In Call of Duty, you get one level 3 armor probably once every 5 games, and if you're not good, or you're still like in your beginner stage like I was when I first found level 3 armor and didn't know what it was, I got fucking taken for a walk. But people who are good with level 3 armor in Call of Duty are usually the people who win. And you can see it because when you go up against the last guy and you see he's got a ballistics helmet on, you're like, I'm going to fucking lose. I am fucked.
oh jeez.
But the big strategy that I've had as of recent for my victories, so I've gotten a few victories not being carried,
This
believe
is
it or
in
not.
Apex Legends.
Fuck
Or-
no.
Oh, Call of Duty. Okay.
It's Call of Duty. My go-to, my baby, my sweetheart. Dexter, what the fuck, dude?
All right. Keep it brief. We're at 40 minutes already, and Vito's on a curfew.
All right, so we got Anthem.
I don't play Anthem.
Did either of you play the beta?
Nope.
Dude,
No.
this game fucking sucks. All right.
That's what I
Damn.
heard.
It
That's brutal.
sucks. And I'm sick and tired of all the people in the video game media who got hands-on demos and were told the lore, sure. But BioWare has this bad habit of just dropping you in this world and not explaining fucking anything. They're using all this jargon. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on in the demo. And again, people can call it a beta, but EA called it a demo. That makes it a demo. They don't even explain the controls. They link to a web page where you can watch a video to learn how to play. So it's like, are you kidding me? So I tried to play it for a little bit, and
What are we in, 2003?
it forced me to partner up with other people, and I'm like, this game is awful, And flying around was cool, yeah, but the shooting didn't feel good. I kept dying from I couldn't even tell what. And I had no idea what was happening.
I just don't know much about
this
that
is
game
awful.
to talk about it. I just don't know
Yeah,
anything.
I heard that the shooting was terrible, and that the only thing that was semi good about that was the if you wanted to be Iron Man, you could play that
Let's
game
say
for
it's the
20
best
minutes.
Iron Man game ever, but I can't deal with this lore. I don't care about any of this.
So
and
is it-
nothing
is
Because
it
the
like-
lore is bad, the shooting is bad, the
Yeah.
combat
Is
with
it
the
like
flying
is it like
bad.
Titanfall?
It's closer to Destiny. It's a looter shooter.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed Titanfall 2.
But you hate Apex Legends? You know they're in the same universe, right?
I know
It's the
that.
same people.
I know that, but I enjoyed Titanfall 2 and the first Titanfall as well. But can we pause it for a second?
Yep, we can pause it for one.
My mom. Yeah,
Anyways,
Titanfall and Anthem.
Back to
In
Titanfall
case
and
that
Anthem.
long fart was recorded, that's how we feel about Anthem.
I don't think it.
I wanted
was.
to tell you. I meant to tell you, Christian. You said you love Titanfall. You know the story of Respawn and Vince Zampella and all that, right?
Respawn and Vince. Well, this is what we were talking about while we were setting up microphones.
Yeah.
Correct. So this is what I heard about it was that Respawn is kind of throwing EA under the bus.
Well, not
And it's
that. I
kind
mean,
of
do you
like
know
a-
where they came from? Their history.
where they came from? No.
So Vince Zampella was at Infinity Ward. He created Call of Duty 4. And then he got in a fight with Activision and said, fuck you, and left and went to EA and formed Respawn. So the Titanfall team is basically the Call of Duty 4 team.
Ah.
Yeah.
See, and Call of Duty 4
Is one of your favorites.
is
I
one of my
know.
favorites. Yeah. They're also teasing a big update coming up in Blackout or Black Ops 4, and then they also kind of teased a new Call of Duty game for next year.
Well, shocking. There's going to be a new
People
Call
are
of Duty
thinking
game.
it's going to be Modern Warfare 4, which could get interesting. Are they going to follow the story, or are they just going to let it drop off and be its own thing? Who knows? Anyway, enough
It's
of
gonna
Call
be
of
Call
Duty.
of Booty 75.
Hey man, you guys can talk your shit. Shooters are king.
Here.
Shooters are the king.
They're a
I
genre.
mean, I'm still playing Kingdom Hearts. I've decided. So I finished Kingdom Hearts 1.
Hey, how good is it? Do I need to
I
get
haven't
that
played
shit?
3 yet. I'm
Oh,
playing through
okay.
all the old ones. I finished Kingdom Hearts 1, then I decided I'm going to play them all chronologically.
Right.
Not in order of release, but in order
Story.
of setting. So I finished Kingdom Hearts X back cover, and now I'm in the middle of Birth by Sleep. Just about to finish that. I only got about 5 more games to go before I can start Kingdom Hearts 3.
I heard.
I have no idea what the fuck.
I saw. I saw a video that was like a generalization of the overarching story between all the games, and I heard that it's just as jumbly and fucky and retconny as World of Warcraft's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, even trying to play them all and watching those videos, it still doesn't make any fucking
Yeah.
sense. It's all about the Kingdom Hearts, and there's light and darkness in every heart.
Yeah, and dark is good and light is good.
And, if your heart gets taken out of your
Guys,
body, you become
I'm
a heartless.
melting.
But then, the left behind
what
shell
the
becomes a
fuck is
nobody.
going on.
And there's also Unversed and, Organization 13 and
There's
getting
nobodies
Xehanorted
and somebodies and anybody's and
if
yeah.
it's not a shooter, and if it's not Fallout,
Basically, if it's not Pong,
and it's not sports.
Hey, the bad guy is voiced by fucking Leonard
because
Nimoy
that's what
in this
shooters
one, so-
are. It's Pong with 3D graphics.
Basically.
you have a
Right.
good point. It's repetitive, but it's perfect for me.
No, it's great. I used to like shooters, but then
See, the one shooter I
just
really want
really
to
got
get
into
my
story
the one
more
shooter I
so
really
than
want to get my hands on
combat.
is is Battlefield 5, but that game is such a shit show. I don't want to spend money
disaster.
on it. I don't want to get
Hey,
it.
you know a good shooter I just played
and
the other
then
day?
their
No?
marketing plan just kind of
Alright.
was bullshit too. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying I played a really good shooter recently.
What?
It was Final Fantasy 14. I was playing the Machinist class.
God damn! You and your fucking Final
How is the
Fantasies, man.
Machinist class?
They're gonna
man?
have to sponsor us.
It's
You guys
fun.
talk about that shit
I
so
know,
much.
right?
Really? Call of Duty boy over there?
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
why
do, we
not?
have any
Sponsor
other,
us too.
do we have any other video game topics? I'm looking for-
Resident Evil 2, the remake,
Yeah, I can't play that game. It's too spooky.
looks fucking incredible.
So I've heard.
I haven't gotten it yet, but I've heard nothing but terrific things about it. And once it goes on sale, I'm definitely going to get it. See, the thing is I played it before, I beat it before, I know what it is. Very excited, very thrilled. And the graphics are awesome. A game I also want to get my hands on is Resident Evil 7. I still haven't played
That's
it.
that's hella cheap right now, man.
I still haven't played it, and I've been thinking about buying it. And then another spooky game I really got to get my grubby fucking hands on is Outlast 2, so I can finally play that. But anyway, moving on. Let's get into some. Let's get into some.
You have it, yeah.
Let's get into this Activision.
Wait, oh,
We were talking about Activision and about
Before we bring everyone down, I assume neither of you are on the Switch squad, so you didn't watch the Nintendo Direct. But they released all the news about the new Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Three Houses, and it's
really?
basically Harry Potter cross Fire Emblem, and it looks awesome, and I'm super excited. Okay, go ahead.
Sounds like good.
Yeah, I'm not a Switch guy, not a Switch boy.
But you've played a Fire Emblem game before?
But yeah, Game Boy.
Yeah. So imagine like Fire Emblem game, but like in order to level up your squad, like you play as an instructor in a magical academy, so you have to like give them tests and do like Persona style social links. It
The
looks
one
really
thing that
fun.
was heartbreaking about that was losing a character.
That's still in it, but they made it easier to like save mid battle.
Right. But like
less of
losing
a-
your character on the Game Boy version was just so fucking sad.
Yeah, I know.
I have a real sad story. Speaking of Game Boys, I played the fucking like we said before, the Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Yeah. The card battler. Yeah,
I got
yeah.
all the way up to the final boss fight, and then my battery died halfway through the fight
Ooh.
after trying like a few times to kill him.
Yeah.
And apparently, it didn't save any of my saves
Ah,
through like half the game.
that sucks.
Even though I'd like
That's
just
when I don't play the
starting that-
game ever again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happened. I just threw it down and like was sad and regretful, and I just
It
just
hurts.
The first
So
time I
bad,
ever
yeah.
played Final Fantasy X, I had like a knockoff third-party memory card and it got corrupted. So I got all the way to Bevel. Or no, it was it was all the way to Bevel. It was to the wedding scene, and then I had to start all the way over from the start, which is about 75% through the game. Yeah. It was annoying. Anyways,
800 hours later.
A game with
Activision.
permadeath that's also very heartbreaking
Yeah.
is it's called State of Decay. It's like a zombie game that came
Yeah,
out.
it's
I'm
not
talking
on-
about number 1 though. I haven't played number 2, but number 1, I remember when it
the
came
game
out.
looked interesting because I really like the simulation style games like that, like where you're like running your civilization, but it never came out on it's Xbox
it's-
exclusive. So.
yeah, it's really fun, but
That's why I've never heard of it.
But it's just the permadeath in that is so heartbreaking because you build up your character. They give you this guy right off the bat who's like super strong and he's well conditioned. So you're like, well, this is obviously going to be like my main character. So you build him up, build him up, build him up. But then you get into a situation where you're looting a house and like there's like a rare boss zombie or whatever lurking around the area. And as you're running out of the house, it like gets you, and there's no way to avoid it grabbing you or hurting you. It literally will pick you up and rip you in half, and your character is dead.
Yeah, that sucks. Did either of you ever play either XCOM, any of the new XCOMs, or
I played the the first XCOM,
like the
of newer
2011?
version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Banner Saga? Did you play any of those?
Banner Saga.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't.
The one
play
about
it,
Vikings.
but
one
I
about
think I
Vikings.
watched one of them. Yeah.
Because those
That's
are
the
also
one.
games with permadeath, and the thing about XCOM is like you can super customize your squad. So I would name them after all like my family,
Yeah.
and then the like character is named after my sister dies. Like oh, man,
no, permadeath.
yeah,
Dude, that's brutal.
dead.
Yup.
Dexter, if you get up there again, I'm going to have to take a picture of you, pal.
All right, you want to talk about Activision?
Let me take a picture of him so I can post it on Facebook so people have to see what we got to deal with.
We have an invader. He's lucky he's so damn cute.
He is. And he's little, thank God. Fucking Benji
If
were to do
Benji
that,
tried to
we'd be
jump up
dead.
there, yeah. Get out of here.
So, Activision. Fucking crazy. Can't believe that. When you guys told me that, I about filled up my diaper.
800 people lost, and then on top of that, on their France headquarters, they lost 35% of their employees.
It's just crazy. It's crazy that it's like, and like, it's just expected, you know? Like, why is the system in place that like you hire up people for a project and lay them off and then hire them back? Like,
It's
this
because
is
they
super messed up.
overhire. It's mismanagement. They're overhiring.
Well, but like
there is
that's
to it.
just the way it works, you
I
know?
know.
Like it's all just like these. It's I would not wish that life on anyone.
Yeah.
I hear being a video game developer sucks. That's why I work on the internet.
Yeah.
I could imagine it.
I mean, I work in a grocery store, but, you know.
It's just when you're in
Vito
a
and I definitely know about.
when you're in a
fucking shit
glamour
jobs.
position like that. Like when I was a field biologist, like I knew I was underpaid, but you can't really ask for more money because there's 1,000 people who would love to do the job you're doing. You know.
There's a customer who asked me what I like initially, or like what my goals are, and I was like, well, my goals are obviously to make country music, make music in general. So I don't care if it's hip hop, rap, or you know, my favorite is country, but I've had made some rap songs before. Obviously, when you have Mark in here, we've talked about that. But so I was like, oh, I'd love to be making music, so like country music, and then I'd love to be an engineer, an audio engineer. She was like, oh, well, then why are you working here instead of doing that? I'm like, you know why? Because I don't have the fucking money to be an engineer at this point in my life. But still not out of the question. Still pushing it.
My dreams in life is to have money and comfort.
Yeah.
There you go.
My dream in life is to win the fucking lottery, or to just like inherit $10 million.
What would be the first thing you do if you win the lottery?
Quit,
Retire.
stop working. Yeah.
Budget.
No, honestly, the first thing I would do would be to pay off the rest of our mortgage, and then we would move. We would sell our house and move. We don't want to live in the city anymore. Well, Ara doesn't want to live in the city anymore.
I don't want to live in the city anymore.
No.
I'd love to live out in the boonies.
She wants to buy like a big old house in like Astoria or some like kitschy coastal town and turn it into a bed and breakfast. That's the plan.
I could see that.
She
I could
looks
see
like
that.
an innkeeper, you know.
She does.
Yeah.
I could see that.
It's cool.
Yeah, I think the
mean,
first thing I'd do if I won the lottery is probably fucking leave.
I'd work remotely from your bed and breakfast.
I would either be dead or I'd be budgeting. And I'm assuming people could understand.
like if we're talking like the
by
$1 billion,
dead.
like Mega Millions when it was almost $1 billion, then yeah, my plan was to like buy a compound, you know, with like 10 buildings on it and just invite all my friends and family to live with me for rent free, you know?
If I won the lottery, I'm dumping $100 into our podcast.
Exactly. I
Max
guess a nice
budget,
studio
$100 per
space.
podcast.
Yeah.
That's all I can afford for it.
Wait, 100 million or 100?
$100
Oh, Jesus
flat.
Christ.
Anyway, moving on. I do want to talk about the brand new fucking love of my life of sports, and that is the
T-shirt
AAF,
for dogs.
the fucking Alliance Football League, American Alliance Football League.
What is the American Alliance of Football?
Yeah,
love
what
it.
is that shit?
It's a knockoff football league.
It's like a Canadian football league, but not so fucking goofy.
It's not Canadian.
It's not
either.
Canadian.
Oh.
Canadian football is too goofy for me to enjoy.
So what literally actually is the AAF aside from the actually as fuck?
It's its own own football
like a
league.
separate football
It's like
league,
it's
yeah.
its own league.
Yeah, but like who and why?
So it's just for there to be more football.
People,
and it's also,
somebody thought they
it's-
could make extra money off it.
Yeah,
so
and it's
they-
also a good way for players who went from, being great in college, going to the NFL, but not being able to perform. So for a perfect example, you have Trent Richardson, who was probably one of Alabama's best running backs
and he was
ever.
absolutely terrible.
And he went to the NFL and could not perform. So he went to Canada. Couldn't really do well there. So then the AAF came along, and now he's playing for Birmingham, which is, where he played football in college, and he's feeling good. He looks good. He had a great first game. I didn't catch any of the games this weekend. I was just a little bit too busy with my mom's birthday. Shout out to my mom. But I caught the games last weekend during Super Swipe Sunday, and we had a blast.
When
And
do they play?
Speaking of which, didn't you have a story about Super Swipe Sunday?
I will get to that. That is a good story. You're going to love that.
We'll save that one because I gotta pee.
So they play in the afternoon, same time.
On Sundays?
On Sundays and Saturdays.
Oh.
So, and the cool thing is it's not hard to watch these games. You would think that a division or like a football league like this would make it a little difficult for.
They're on fucking CBS. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're on fucking CBS. They have an app that's free to use now because they're not like the NFL, which obviously if you're the NFL, then yeah, I expect you to not have your games for free online. But they have every game of theirs online for free to watch, to stream, and to enjoy, and they're on fucking cable. So it's awesome. You know, it's fun having there be no more football after the NFL is done is so sad. It sucks. And then having to wait so long for college football, it just kind of breaks down
So
that.
when's the AFL season?
The what?
How long is the AFL season?
The AFL? Oh. I thought you were saying Apple for a second. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I believe it's 10 weeks. I don't know too much about it. I'm going to learn a lot more by next week's episode. I'll have all of the
So they're
proper
only like
details.
2 weeks after the NFL?
It was about a week. A week after the NFL.
Okay, cool.
And so a week after the Super Bowl, they kicked off, and it kicked off really well. For me, it's just nice being able to see the defense play football again. So like having the defense be able to make big plays and not be penalized for it, or having there be some stupid fucking penalty thrown if you're trying to play the ball, but you know, it's too physical with the receiver. It's awesome.
I think you gotta be careful thinking about that, man, because one of their whole selling points is that they're supposed to be safer than the NFL. They don't have kickoffs because they're too dangerous.
That's fine. I don't give a shit.
I know. Like the top highlight from the first week was that quarterback getting his helmet knocked off.
His helmet
But
taken
that
off.
kind of shit ain't gonna keep happening.
Oh, it will.
That's not. We're advertising themselves to players in that they are safer than the NFL.
Because that was a clean hit.
See, I thought your
whether
baby was the XFL.
whether people like it, the XFL is coming.
No, I think Christian's
2020.
convinced we can have 3 football leagues all going at the same time.
But here's what I think about the XFL is like if I were in control of things, football league, you know, I would think that maybe since the AAF and the XFL are 2 small leagues, you know, 8-team leagues, 8 cities, 10 weeks. Why don't they just mix them up? Why doesn't the Alliance League play against the XFL League? But then you think about it, each of them have their own rules, and it'd just be a shit show trying to combine them. So you understand that. But it'd be cool to see the 2 teams play each other. But yes, Joe, to answer your question. Or to not answer your question, but to answer what you were saying about player safety. It is a lot more safe in a sense, but it's also allowing defense to play the game the way it should be. If you're playing football, it's a physical fucking sport, and if you don't like the idea that people are getting hit hard or, you know, sometimes injuries happen or people get concussions, don't watch football. Don't expect anything other than that in football. If you don't enjoy it, don't watch it, but don't bitch about it to me.
I'm just saying, when their whole pitch is that they're safer than the NFL, those kind of big, crunchy hits you love are going to get litigated out of the league.
But
like, they may be happening right now, the first week, when the refs and everyone are still new to this, but they're going to go away. So, like, don't come to it for that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how
right.
it goes. We'll see how it goes. There's more highlights. You know, the reason why I like it is just it feels more fast-paced. It's moving. It's moving. There's less advertisements as of right now. So it's like it's moving, and the clock just kind of seems to do its own thing. And you have the official reviews, which are awesome. So when they're reviewing a play, they put you in the booth with an official.
I do enjoy that.
It's
that,
fucking awesome.
You can hear them work through the calls, even when they get them way wrong.
That needs to happen all the time. It needs to happen. I think it's awesome that players can go there for a second chance. I think it's fun that players are there to just play the sport that they love. And they have heart. Those guys are going out there and they're fucking killing it, man. They're making big plays. They're making there's big tackles. It's just a physical, fun football league for the moment. And if it gets delegated, then it's not going to survive. But we'll see how it goes. And then I hope the XFL is.
Do you like rugby?
I don't have anything against rugby. I just don't understand it.
I heard it's more physical.
Well,
It's
no
very
shit.
much. They don't,
Yeah, no
they don't wear
shit.
any pads.
No pads.
Yeah.
And they
So
just
it's
sit
actually-
there and fucking
They
run.
say it's actually safer because, like, when you're not wearing a helmet, you don't go as hard head first towards things.
And you're not going
You're
head
protecting
first.
yourself,
Yeah. And but here's the thing about rugby too is those guys, their tackling mechanics are the safest in the business.
Shout out to my fiance's cousin. What the hell? Oh my god, why can I not remember her? Aviva, who's on an all-female rugby team.
Oh wow, sweet.
Fuck yeah.
She's a wing because she's really fucking fast and she's tiny.
Nice.
That's fun.
She's not like a grinder in the middle.
That's fun. And rugby's cool. I mean, if I understood how it worked, which I'm sure I could get it down.
You should get into it. And
I probably should.
Have it be
I know Seattle has a team.
special part of the podcast.
Yeah, I know Seattle has a
built
team.
like a rugby man, you know.
I am
and I
not
hear those
built like a
guys
rugby
love to
man.
party, man.
I'm not built like a rugby man. I'm built like an O lineman
Yeah,
who.
those rugby men.
I'm built like a fucking O lineman who has been out of the game for 10 years and has 3 restaurant failures, and I need to get back into the game
Mamma
for
Mia
a paycheck.
Pizzeria.
That's what my body looks like right now, but your boy is doing something about
You're
it.
you're the kind of guy who didn't listen to his financial advisor who told him to invest in like mutual stocks and bonds. Like, no, I'm going to do car washes and restaurants. And
Yep.
then they all
I
failed.
got a car wash down here on Lake City Way, folks. Come here and get your car washed, and then it's
Jesus
fucking abandoned
Christ.
like 2 weeks later. Can't pay the mortgage. Yeah, that's exciting though about my weight loss. 306 pounds now.
I
and
haven't
I'm shooting
exercised
for,
in like a week and a half, but
shooting for 280 for by April 14th. So as far as right now,
April
it is
14.
February 17th.
How tall are you?
6 foot on the money.
I'm 6'3" and I'm 280. So
You were
I believe in
6'3"?
Vito's huge.
You make me seem short. I'm only 5'9".
Vito's huge. Tall wise.
yeah, I believe in you. I think you can do it.
Yeah.
If I can eat like a garbage can and be 281, then I believe in you.
Yeah, keto starts tomorrow.
Say 75% diet, 25% exercise.
I don't exercise or diet, so
So yeah, keto for me starts
You're
tomorrow.
still young, man.
I'm nervous. I'm excited,
so is he.
but we're gonna get it taken care of. So
He's
that
younger
way
than
I
me.
don't look like a
Beefy
player who's
boy
been out of the
health
game for
corner.
10 years and has a Lake City car wash that's abandoned. The XFL coming in 2020. It's cool because there's no American Alliance League here in Seattle, but there is an XFL team here, and I can't fucking wait.
Well, the XFL teams are all in
Also,
NFL
what do
cities,
these all
aren't
these
they?
teams mean?
What's
like
that?
the xylophone.
The XFL is the
Fumble league?
Extreme Football League.
Okay,
and
and
then
what- and then-
AAF is American Alliance Football League.
Okay, it's not the All-American.
I feel bad for anybody who's at work last week when I came back from my weekend because I had to tell everybody that there was a new football league. I was running around like a fucking madman.
Like in the neighborhood?
No, at work. I was just running around at work to everybody. Did you,
You mean
know there's a
anyone
new
who is
football league?
literally at the Met Mart? Okay.
Anytime anybody asks me about
It's
football,
like-
I'm like, I don't know. Christian's not here.
It's like once the season came to an end, everybody thought that the football talk was going to be laid to rest. Your boy comes back from a long snow day weekend, and he's fresh off the boat with brand new football league info. And
I just love the team names because they sound like they're like made up for like an ESPN show where they can get an NFL license. There's like
Birmingham Iron,
the San Diego Fleet.
the Fleet.
I
Yep.
think they should involve fire in the extreme.
Isn't it
football
San
league.
Antonio Commanders?
It's something like that. I don't
And
know.
then there's Arizona Hot Shots.
It sounds like the team names I'd make up in Madden when I was bored and I'd like set a franchise mode and like move like the Browns to
When you were
Toronto
bored.
or whatever.
It's awesome
When I
that
get bored of playing as the
Arizona
Giants,
has.
so
When
just
you were
switch.
0 years old.
Bored, not born.
Oh,
It's awesome that Arizona has the Hot Shots. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, so okay.
because of the hot sauce.
Somebody was telling me, or I
Oh, no,
heard it
that's
from
Louisiana.
somewhere. Somebody was talking about the Hot Shots, and they're like, "That just makes no fucking sense. I don't understand why they
why
would
is
name
it?
their team that. It's a fireman it's a fireman reference. The Hot Shots.
What is it?
It's like
what is it?
they're like the wildland like fire team. So the guys that go out there and fight wildfires.
They're called the Hot Shots?
There's like a branch of them that is called the Hot Shots.
That's pretty cool.
And they have like the fireman logo on there and everything. They look badass. And they're the team that's projected to be...
Respect your firemen.
Yep, respect your firemen. Folks.
Respect your firemen.
They're the team that's projected to win the whole thing.
Good.
So it's pretty interesting. A lot of Huskies in the AAF. Well, not a lot of them, but Azim Victor is one of the notable ones in there. Keith Price is in there. Keith. Good old Keith. There's a few other ones. And I just can't wait for Husky season, you guys. It's just driving me crazy. They posted a video, I think, like 2 or 3 days ago of 200 more days. I'm counting the days down as I go.
I'm just glad I don't have to work Saturdays anymore, so I don't have to fight Huskies fans on the light rail. Like 10 transit police, like setting up like
1, fight.
in the light rail station. They put out like cones to like direct traffic. Oh god, how busy is it gonna get in here?
If you go to a football game and get mad because somebody's drunk and yelling and having fun, you're a fucking beta, and I hate that shit.
Oh my god.
Somebody who gets mad at people at sporting events because they're having a good time.
I'm Christian, and I just want to act like an asshole in public and have no one complain about it.
At a football game, a fucking football game. Like, I've seen kids get fucking restless or like, ruthless at those fucking games, man. And I respect that because it's a game, it's a sport, everybody has fun. When you go to a hockey
I just need
game,
a safe
everybody talks
space
shit.
to act like a douchebag.
You gotta hoot and a holler.
And I'm not yelling
you're
at
at a
fans.
sport
I'm not yelling
or
at
at a
fans.
music.
I'm not yelling at people like, I'm yelling at the other team, even though they can't hear me ever.
Sometimes they can, man.
Yeah, at a hockey game.
I was definitely at a baseball game one time where we were playing the Phillies, and one of the guys next to me was like, "Yo, Bobby Abreu," and the guy turned and was like, "You fucking suck," and then he scowled and turned back away.
That's pretty funny.
We were in like the luxury box too, like a corporate box that like we had bought the tickets secondhand.
I spent a good majority of a Mariners game once yelling at Mike Trout.
Could he hear you?
No,
I
not at
doubt
all.
it.
I just kept yelling his name. Trout!
They probably thought you were a fisherman.
You fucking suck! Even though he's
The best player,
the
like,
best. Yeah,
ever.
he's fucking awesome. I'm like, Trout, you fucking suck, dude.
Hey,
And
Ohtani,
everybody's
too,
looking
is
at me
fucking
and
crazy.
shit. Speaking of the Mariners, I'm going to the Mariners home opener against.
Can we talk about how crazy it is that Manny Machado and Bryce Harper don't have contracts yet? Something is fucked up in baseball land. Those are the two best free agents, and the season starts in 3 weeks, and they still haven't been signed. It's absurd. There's definitely collusion. Anyways, there's going to be a strike.
Did you see
everyone knows
the
there's gonna be a strike.
Kaepernick situation?
That he settled?
Yeah, they settled, and then there's the American Alliance Football League offered, "Hey, come and play in our league," and he demanded $23 million to play.
Otherwise
And they were
known
like-
as the AFL.
They were like, "Guess what?
Hey, maybe the Giants can sign him.
We
That would
don't
be
even have
good.
that fucking money, so good luck,
Our
champ."
team's going to suck. They're saying Eli's going to come back and be the quarterback next year.
Dude,
I know. Just sign Kaepernick. Fuck it.
Eli's had his time.
What's the worst that could happen? We go 4-12 again? Okay.
I just don't think he wants to play football anymore.
I don't think he does either.
And it's fine. He got his money. He doesn't want to play football. And it's crazy. It's settled. It's done. So we'll see where it goes from here.
So, Christian, you're going to play in the XFL?
I'm pushing for it, man. I'm going to go in there.
That's his plan.
No
yeah.
fair catch rule.
Yeah, that was the rule originally. You still need a 5-yard halo, which defeats the whole purpose of no fair catch. Like,
Don't know what any of that means.
don't worry.
I mean, yes, of course, Vito. I mean, the big XFL announcement. That was, I mean, that's what keeps me working out.
So you're going to go to the AAFL, the AFL, and then you're going to
Once
go
I
to
found
the
out that there's the American Alliance, I was like, holy shit, I have 2 choices. I'm going to have 2 choices.
Once they
to be a
merge and
washed-up
become the
player.
Axle, then Christian will join.
Yeah, the Axis.
The Axle.
I mean, yeah.
Like, if there's a window of opportunity that's like, oh, maybe you can play here. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Why the fuck not? It's not going to hurt me. I literally have nothing to lose by saying that I want to go play for the
AFL
AAF
and
or the
XFL.
fucking XFL.
The XFL and AFL.
The Zaxful. The XFL is like the NFL's nobody. That's a Kingdom Hearts reference that none of you are gonna get. Shout out to whoever. I hope there's one. I hope we have one dorky fan who understands.
I got it.
That Kingdom Hearts reference. Anyways,
I don't get it.
when you become a nobody, you just shuffle the letters in your name and add an X.
XFL.
Yeah.
Welcome.
All right. We have anything else to talk about? I have a few quick notes here.
All right.
What you got?
Well, okay. Hold on. Vamp, because I totally lost my page. Okay. So I want to give a shout out to this YouTube channel I've been obsessed with recently. It's this guy who films these like elaborate marble structures he creates, but he announces it as though it's a sporting event, and he calls it the Marble Olympics. He's made like 20 different teams based on the color of marbles. I'm an O Rangers fan. That's the orange marbles. There's also like the raspberry racers and the snowballs.
I don't know how you
a
would find something like this.
It's like absurd. It's like marbles like rolling down a hill, but he like it's commentated like it's a sporting event, and like at one point,
so it's like a race.
not always a race. Sometimes it's like he puts them in a funnel, and like the last one out of the funnel is the winner, or it's like there's a track and there's like a block on it, and whoever pushes the block the furthest wins. He did like a ski jump situation.
You know,
But,
you know what's sad about this channel is I could find
If you're
myself
imaginative-
watching this.
It has 500,000 subscriptions.
I could
If
find
you're
myself watching
imaginative,
this on
you
the
can
regular.
make money on YouTube.
He
Yes.
did marble curling. Marble archery was an event. Like I gotta, these are absurd, and yeah, people get way into it. So I gotta give them a shout out. Also, I don't know if either of you saw this, but I think you did. But Ara and
It
I
was for porn.
are super duper into Safeway Monopoly.
Yeah, I
So
saw
I saw that. Yeah, yeah.
Where Ara took an
I
old.
thought I didn't, but then I remembered what it was.
She took an old like a politician's yard sign and turned it into a giant Safeway Monopoly board. So, listeners, please send me all of your Safeway Monopoly tickets. And if you don't have a Safeway, you can also go to Acme or Albertsons, or if they're giving you those Monopoly
Wait,
tickets,
Acme actually
I'll take
exists
them.
outside of cartoons?
Yeah, no, it's a real grocery store on the East Coast.
What the
It's
fuck?
basically East Coast Safeway. Yeah, yeah.
You know what Safeway is?
Mind blown.
What?
Safeway is. So do you know like there's like a meme of something wearing a mask, and it's like the first mask would say Safeway, but then he would take the mask off, and it's Metropolitan Market behind it.
It's like Scooby Doo.
They are fucking ridiculous with their prices.
What, Safeway?
Safeway is so fucking expensive,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
know.
shitty quality stuff.
What do you mean? They're like shitty quality, cheap ass shit.
No, they're not that
No,
cheap.
They're not cheap.
QFC's cheaper.
They're not cheap at all. You'll get like
since
a few
when?
items, and it's like a $25
Safeway.
minimum.
Safeway is not cheap.
Yeah, since when?
Always. Safeway is way more expensive than it has any right to be.
Dude,
It's
I've
absurd.
spent like $20 and got a full basket of groceries.
You got to go to QFC. It's cheaper. Or Trader Joe's is even cheaper. It's
Yeah,
the cheapest
Trader
one.
Jose.
Wait, how does
It's
Trader Jose's fucking cheaper than QFC?
Because Trader Joe's only deals in their own products, so they don't have to pay wholesalers. That's how they're cheaper than everyone
Yep.
else.
Yep, for the brand.
Yep.
Rum of the Gods.
Well,
Threw up a lot
shout
with
out.
that.
I just do fucking Amazon.
What, Prime Now?
And yeah, no, the fresh.
Oh.
Oh, Amazon Fresh.
Do they
Yeah.
give you deals at Whole Foods? Because Amazon owns Whole Foods.
I just do like $70 on Amazon Fresh, and then I do a crockpot meal, and it lasts me a week.
Well, there you go. All right. We should wrap.
Ding dang dongle.
And it's almost 7. It's time to
Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Buy your dog
yeah.
a t-shirt.
Speaking of buy your dog a t-shirt, by the way, I don't know if I told you this, but I told Vito. We have officially sold one piece of merch.
What?
Yes,
it your
yes.
book?
Friend of the show, Grace Nakahara, bought a t-shirt. And I know that because fucking Cafe Press tells me the names of every customer we have, which seems real creepy.
That's-
but
that's weird.
Whatever.
That's weird, folks.
So shout out to our good friend Grace. Thanks for buying that t-shirt. If you want to be mentioned on the show, buy some merch.
Buy some fucking merch.
You can find our merch at cafepress.com/beefyboysmerch1.
Yep.
You can find our podcast on our website, beefyboys.com. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, and Spotify.
Yeah.
Spoofy.
And
Hit
we're
us up
working
on-
with somebody right now to get a better design. So, you know, we have our temporary design, but we're going to get a new
for
one
our
for
logo.
our merch.
Yeah,
Yep,
we're
for
working on
our
it.
logo and our merch.
Working on it.
We're gonna work on
That
that.
Buy your dog a
placeholder, that
t-shirt.
placeholder yellow logo I
Buy
made
your
was
dog
only
a
supposed to
t-shirt.
last us like a week, so whatever.
Whoops.
It looks good. Rate us on iTunes. Why not? We love 5 stars. 5 stars only.
5 stars only.
Hit us up on Twitter. Christian's all up on there. He'll respond to you.
I will.
At beefy_boys.
We had a Twitter, actually, somebody mentioned us on Twitter. goes by the name of Connor.
Beefy
He's been
underscore
listening- He's been
boys.
listening to our shows while he works. He really enjoys it. He heard our Ouija board story and fucking loved it because he was there. In that room at the
Oh,
time.
okay, I was like,
It's fucking
he's a
awesome.
friend of yours. Okay.
Yeah, great friend of mine. Thanks for listening to everybody. Thanks for listening. And
Thanks
you
for
guys-
listening.
Yeah, you guys can catch me on
Eat
Twitter
the skeet.
Yeah.
on the regular.
Hit up Vito. Vito runs the Instagram page. I don't know if you knew that. But
I don't do
that's your
shit.
Job. Yeah. Beefy Boys Bud Club, bud.
No, I didn't do anything yet.
You're like, what are you doing? I think Vito's fucking drunk. He's like making out with that microphone. The thing's like flopping around in his face. And then the Facebook page, facebook.com/beefyboys. That's our most active. That's
It's been a very unactive week on Instagram and Facebook just because of the Snowmageddon and then getting things back together.
Have
at
an
work.
episode, yeah.
Yeah, so sorry for not having an episode, but welcome back. We're here. We're live.
Guess who's back?
Back up.
Beefy
back,
boys.
Thank you for listening, folks. Signing off.
All right.